So we're going to take a look at a non-edible species. Not deadly toxic, but it's classed as non-edible. Commonly found in hedgerows, woodlands, typically really damp places where you'll find ingredients like wild garlic. And that's why I think we should take a look at this one. It's just here, and it's called Lords and Ladies. So if we have a look at the leaf, which is probably the most likely part we would accidentally pick, you can see it's spear-shaped or harpoon-shaped, so it has these deep lobes at the base of the leaf. Really dark green and waxy, and the veins are also really pronounced. And the reason we're looking at this one specifically because there's two edible species we could confuse this with. The first one is wild garlic. Now, the wild garlic leaf goes directly from here straight up and doesn't have these two deep lobes, but this does grow around wild garlic. So sometimes if you're out harvesting wild garlic or picking it, and you get a handful, there might be the odd one or two of these leaves right in the centre, and you would not want to blitz that up into a pesto later on. So it's definitely worth taking a look at each leaf. The other one that could potentially be confused when it's at this stage is something called common sorrel. So common sorrel does have these two lobes at the base of the leaf, but common sorrel typically grows out in sheep's fields, outside of woodlands. And that's not to say it doesn't grow in woodlands sometimes. The leaf is a lot smaller of common sorrel, so we're usually looking for about this size. It's a lot less dark than this one, and if we look on the underside, like I was saying, the veins that run up here are really pronounced and deep, so they really stick out. A bit like when you put your fingers over your arm and move your hand, your veins start to stick out of your hand, and that's what's happened on the back of the leaf here. So the reason we don't want to eat this is because it contains oxalate crystals, so really sharp crystals on the inside of it. So if I was to pop this on my tongue or munch a little bit the leaf, those crystals would go inside my mouth, and it's almost like a sensation of eating glass or like licking a stinging nettle. It feels really sharp on your tongue. I mean, I'd be very surprised if anyone could actually ingest enough of this to have any issues to them, because it's really, really unpleasant. Slightly later in the year, it'll produce a single shoot from the middle, and that will almost have a wrapped leaf around it, and that's another reason for the name Lords and Ladies. It's supposed to look like a lady's mantle. And then there you'll have a little bud of flowers, and then later on the year it produces something we call a devil's lollipop, and this might be something you've seen through the woods. So it'll have, again, on that shoot, it'll have lots of little berries on it, and they'll be dark orange to red in colour and very sticky. They actually look like a sticky lollipop, and that's one thing to be wary of if you've got children or little kids out in the woodlands, just because it looks so inviting, like a sweet lollipop, that I can imagine a child could pick that up and either lick it or munch on it, and they would have that glass sensation in their mouth really quickly. So one to be wary of. Sometimes on the leaf we'll get purple blotching throughout the leaf as well on this one, but the keys for me are dark, glossy. If you were to touch it on your mouth, really sharp, instant pain. Doesn't smell like garlic, doesn't taste like lemon from the sorrel that you'd get, but it's one to be wary of. Lords and Ladies.